Disclaimer. This content is published by Global Miranda Minor Group LLC, FZ, a Dubai-based entity. All information is for educational and informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice or investment solicitation. Crypto trading involves substantial risk and may not be suitable for all individuals. Always do your own research. This material is not intended to market, offer, or promote securities or financial products to residents of the Philippines in compliance with the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC of the Philippines.
This is the Global Miranda Minor Group, our home of the culture of Malasakit. This is the Global Miranda Minor Group, our home of the culture of Malasakit. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Kamiranda. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you the one and only, the voice that introduced, pitikin kita sa ilong, isang hampas na lang ng palakol, the power of yet. Please, let's give it up to our pambansang crypto coach, Coach Miranda Minor.
Hello, Kamiranda. Welcome to another edition of our cryptocurrency technical analysis, fundamentals, exclusive interviews, and everything about crypto all in one channel. My name is Coach Miranda Minor, streaming live here in the Philippines and talking to the global Kamiranda all around the world. Our topic for tonight is very important because, as you guys would have recall, we have been inviting VIPs in our show, subject matter experts. We have had a couple of CEOs in our show, including CEO of Trust Wallet, CEO of CoinsPH, who used to be a former CFO of Binance, and a couple of more CEOs in the show, which I believe will be important for us to be able to have a very meaningful discussion and understanding of cryptocurrency as a whole. This is going to be very important for you as a trader because this would give you insights on expert opinions on where are we from the hottest topics today about cryptocurrency. And speaking of that, Kamiranda, my topic for today is about cryptocurrency adoption, the institutional adoption, that FOMO I've been trying to talk about. A couple of insights before I introduce my guests. As a matter of fact, based on the most recent article from Thomas Murray, the article was about institutional adoption of digital assets in 2025. It reads that this has been accelerating rapidly in 2025, while crypto have historically been met with skepticism and scrutiny. The technology behind the asset is now recognized as a legitimate force in the financial sector. Awesome. In another article, Kamiranda, we have been seeing, according to the news or article from Chain Analysis, that according to them, most recent article suggests from January 23 to August of 2025, we have been seeing a trend. There is a growing integration of traditional finance and cryptocurrency markets, very evident in the US and also in other parts of the world. Over the past year, two particular segments have shown strong growth, including tokenized money market funds and Bitcoin and spot crypto ETF. So technically, if you're going to notice, I'll just kind of read a little bit of information here. The AUM of these tokenized assets funds nearly quadrupled over 12 months, from approximately $2 billion in August of 2024 to more than $7 billion in August of 2025.
You are listening to Coach Miranda Minor in his daily crypto life.
So on that particular case, I think it's important we kind of, get to have some individuals that can give us insights on what's happening, Coach Miranda. We have been seeing a lot of important updates in the market. As a trader, is this a sign of a prolonged bullishness in the market? Is this something that we can potentially use as, a signal no, or talk to us a little bit about what's happening in the whole world. And there's no one better to talk to us about what's happening in the institutional space, none other than my guest for tonight. My guest for tonight is the CEO or Chief Executive Officer of Phemex. No, he's actually based in Italy, and I'm very proud to have him in our show, as I am with all of our other guests as well. Without further ado, I would like to introduce to you my guest for tonight, Federico. Hey, Federico, how are you?
Hello everyone. Thank you for having me. It's great to be here. Great intro. I hadn't seen that graph recently, so it's good to see the institutional adoption growing. My name is Federico. I'm the CEO at Phemex, based in Italy, as you previously mentioned. We are an exchange, like a hybrid exchange between centralized and decentralized, currently expanding with more trading pairs, more on-chain opportunities, and trying to offer our clients the best opportunities for them to trade and invest.
By the way, before we start the show, is it still raining there in Milan? Because I was there, like it's raining. Not
it's
anymore.
Super sunny, so yeah, you got the wrong week.
No, I think I went there in the wrong week, but I know it's a beautiful place. You're approaching autumn season already, correct?
Yeah.
It's a very
colder, yeah.
place to kind of to walk around. You see, it's getting colder and more chilly, right?
Yeah,
more chill. It's interesting. All right. Okay, so and as I've said, we're talking offline. We're building our European team there, and I'm very happy because we have 8 global Miranda Minor mentors based in Europe, and we're starting to build that infrastructure there. So, Federico, I just want to ask, how long have you been in this space? How is it to be a CEO of an awesome exchange?
So I've been in the space since 2019, late 2019. I consider myself still new in the space, although I realize now that it's been quite a few years. Like there has been a couple of generations after the ones that I joined with. So we launched the exchange in 2019. So we were pretty lucky because we were able to basically catch the whole bull market from when essentially there was the COVID crash at early 2020. But then since then the markets ripped all the way to essentially 60K for Bitcoin, like the previous all-time high. So I think we entered the market with a good timing. Previously, I was researching cybersecurity and international relations, so I was kind of looking into crypto more like from a technical point of view more than financial. But then some of my acquaintances were raising capital for this exchange, and they asked me if I wanted to join to manage the business side of the exchange for the international partners and so on. And we decided to start it, and so we were pretty successful at timing the market, I would say.
Nice. So what a very awesome time. I agree, because 2019 was the time when you've kind of noticed the crypto winter and then all the way up to the bull market on 2020, 2021, right? So nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And have you always been, I've heard the background, but have you always been intrigued about cryptocurrency? Or I think the right question is, have you been a doubter before, like years ago?
At some point, yes. I think everyone is a little bit skeptical at the beginning. Like I would say that the mental step necessary to understand limited supply, like how do you mine tokens and so on, like these kind of things, I think they require a little bit of better understanding of the tool. Nevertheless, as soon as I heard about what Bitcoin is, I was kind of fascinated by it. At that point, the real issue is understanding whether you're entering too late into a market that might be already kind of foaming, and that's what I felt in 2017, 18 when I first heard about it, like in the first bull run. That the top at that point was like 17K for Bitcoin, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a completely different size of a market, but it felt like everyone was talking about it. You know what I mean? So when everyone is talking about something, like maybe you're entering a little bit too late in the market.
That's right.
So yeah, that was my feeling at the time. So I said, okay, I will keep an eye on this, and if it still exists in a couple of years, then I think it would be a good time to get in.
Okay, sounds good. And yeah, you're right. 2017, 2018 was around 17,000, went way down to around 5K, 6K, and went all the way up again. So I think it's a good segue to my question, right? So, let me ask you and your opinion about institutional adoption. I've given a couple of statistics earlier, and I've obviously seen, but I guess in your lens, Federico, how do you see institutions like within your radar, how are they approaching crypto today, and what role will exchanges like you guys in Phemex play into this adoption? Are you guys part of this? Okay, let's all grow in and stuff like that. I mean, what's your role at this point in time for that approach?
Yeah, I think at this point, most institutions have somewhat dabbled in crypto, like either offering to their clients or investing themselves. So it's just a matter of understanding like how earnest they are in their approach, because we've seen some institution even like adoption in 2021, right? But that didn't necessarily end well. Like they didn't protect the market from crashing from like Bitcoin from 60K to 15K, right? So what you really want to see, I think, is when the market changes, like when you have like a significant shift in the market structure. So we go from like bull market to bear market, at some point it's going to happen, right? So that's when you want to see, okay, who's sticking around. So certain vehicles such as ETFs, I think will help maintaining like a more stable market structure as opposed as before. But a lot of the institutional adoption that you see sometimes, like brands hyping up crypto or NFTs or whatever, those kind of things, they can go away pretty quickly. So as long as the market is bullish, then yeah, everyone is happy about being in crypto. But once the market is bearish, a lot of people will just stop caring about it. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I agree. And people are looking for signals, right? Like the
Yeah.
ETF approval. The earliest one I'm seeing in the picture is going to be October, where we have the deadline for SEC to approve all of those ETFs or ETPs. So there's a lot of buzz right now. I mean, in fact, when you attend a couple of crypto conferences, it's funny because I attended 2022. I was in the States, in Texas, and that's when you kind of see the bear market, creeping in, right? Bitcoin going down. I was there. I was like, okay, and I see lawyers, I see people who are not in the space, right? And now it's getting crazy, man. I was in Dubai talking 2014, like, so many people coming in again to the picture, right?
Yeah.
But from a Web2 space, like people who are not in crypto and they would like to enter, what are the main hurdles that you are seeing right now for them, for these institutions whenever they come to crypto? What are those main hurdles that they're looking at, and how can Phemex help those? I mean, how can Phemex help them from removing those barriers?
Right. It's a good question. So I think everyone in crypto is trying to solve this issue. Like, how do you get new people into crypto without scaring them off? So I think different protocols have given different answers, and like different approaches have found successes at the same time. So now, for example, we're seeing like Pump.Fun like trying like kind of like a hyper gambling approach to cryptocurrency, right? So you have meme tokens that are like circling very quickly one from another, right? Like the rotations from one token to another have never been faster. If you look at how quickly tokens are generated on Solana, right? Nevertheless, this market is certainly scary for some adopters, right? Like someone might be a bit older, like maybe are above the age of 35. They don't want to check the chart every 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Like they want to invest into something like maybe a little, but maybe a little bit with a little bit of edge, like some Bitcoin or like Solana or something. But they don't want like to have to check the new trend every 2 minutes, right? Yeah. So I think a centralized exchange offer that kind of more structured proposal to users. So that's a kind of like a value proposition for users in which, okay, you are in a very like fast-paced market. Nevertheless, there are some kind of balances behind in which what is listed, what is promoted, the liquidity, all these kind of things are a little bit safer than if you trade on chain, right? So I think that's always going to be the case. Like even if you look at more dexes such as Hyperliquid, right? Even though Hyperliquid is a dex, nevertheless, like there is a foundation managing like the listings and the liquidity in the listings and so on. So it's not like complete Wild West. Like people need some kind of structure, I feel, when it comes to trading. Some others prefer like the complete lack of structure, so they will trade in mostly more volatile markets such as Solana, meme coins, and so on.
So the fund flow and you're right, because I've also discussed that paradigm. I call it the fund flow paradigm, where obviously the funds are just going around in circles. Like when Bitcoin is overbought, it goes to the altcoins. When altcoins are overbought, it goes to the meme coins. It kind of goes that circle. You mentioned about a couple of types of traders, right? So the older ones, so to speak, are those who are into the to the macro caps of the world, right? They don't want to go to the, I'll call them shit coins. So let's just call it that way. Because my viewers are also into stock market. So we call them third liners, right? The garbage stocks, right? So my question is, beyond the trading volume, open interests, right? Things like that. What signs are you looking for as a CEO into engaging whether institutions are truly committing capital to crypto this year? Because again, the coin market cap is like 4.01 trillion already. It's increasing,
Yeah.
right? It's getting there, and then you're now, to your point, there's a lot of coins being listed, but some of the major altcoins are now BNBs at also almost $1,000.
Yes.
It's getting there, right? So what are those things that you're looking for? Are they really committing capital to crypto this year? And what are your sense over the next couple of months? Sorry.
Yeah, my sense is that I don't see the global market cap of crypto increasing significantly for the next few months. And the reason why I say I think what's going to happen is a rotation to quality at first. So I think the market will not price a higher general market cap because there is not necessarily a significant flow of retail or institution coming in crypto. So I think it's just going to happen what's a reallocation. There is still so many overvalued projects if you check the CoinGecko top 50, right? It's like some chains with no users, no use case, a lot of layer 2s without any kind of product market fit. A lot of projects that are kind of like still hanging on from 2018, like they do basically nothing, just do conferences and stuff. So I think these projects will lose market share. Some other like quality projects will gain market share. So of course you will see BNB, Solana, Hyperliquid, this kind of like more successful protocols will find a bid. But I don't think the whole market, there's not going to be like a tide rising all the boats for now until we have like significant reduction of interest rate. But I think for that to happen, we will need to see something a bit more like a more systemic kind of shock in the market before we actually see a significant change in the rate, interesting rates. Yeah.
So speaking of interest rates, so we have had a cut 2 days ago, a 25 basis point interest rate cut, and we're forecasting 2 more coming in this year. Going back to the commitment of institutions, I want to go to the question now of I want to follow that up with a question about the trust on crypto exchanges. You've been in this space for quite some time. I'm sure you've seen the FTX of the world, right? In a couple of exchanges. So in all of those failures in the industry, how are you guys addressing this in advance? Obviously, to make sure we continue to build trust in both retail and institutional users.
Yeah, it's a very good question. Like, it's kind of shocking that proof of reserves were not a thing before FTX collapsed. Like, somehow we all kind of trusted centralized exchanges on the world. So I think that's a paradigm that was necessary to happen. I'm sad that it happened like with that kind of crisis, of course, because a lot of people lost money. Like, now they got them back, but still it's kind of like that kind of bad PR on crypto will never go away. Like, it's still, people are kind of scared about crypto because of what happened with FTX and so on, and Luna and many others. So I think now that we have all these tools like proof of reserves, all the exchanges wallets are public, like most of exchanges have them, and security of exchanges have improved a lot as well when it comes to like managing withdrawals. I think that it's a much safer market, and I think like what has happened in the past couple of years were instrumental in making the whole industry better, like even though there was like a period of crisis. Yeah,
I agree. I think you're right. I think it's meant to happen because when it happened, everyone started to kind of prove, hey, we have a proof of reserve, etc. And then, by the way, we, for me, it's my own humble opinion. I think it kind of gave some political, attention into it, right? And eventually, you have now a president who's supportive of crypto. I'm talking about Trump overall, and obviously the entire SEC who has been supportive of exchanges, etc. So let's talk about, and I've mentioned this question to you because I really like this question, right? There are exchanges, I mentioned this to the Camirandas who are following me. I just had a dinner with Ben Zhao, owner of Bybit in Dubai, a couple of months ago. I met Starsu in F1 a couple of times. These CEOs, they have had a couple of things done, and one of that is OKX, for example. Okay, they had an OKB, right? BitGet, BGB, right? And right now, BNB is $1,000, by the way,
Yeah.
with right? And
Yeah.
they started to attract attention because they made significant pronouncements. OKX said, "Hey, we're going to be doing a Bitcoin model for our OKB, etc." So for Phemex, have you guys thought of doing the same? And what do you see is the future of these types of coins in your lens?
Yeah, it's a very good question. I think right now, like people's demands from tokens is very high. Like they expect a lot from a token. So not only just price going up, but they want to know why. So I think our approach with PT, our exchange token, has been to combine several different things that our users might like. For example, staking and earning some coins, some buybacks and burns that we do from our on-chain, like trading volume. Launch pools are very instrumental in keeping the users happy. So we share part of our revenue with our users as much as we can. And we want to do more of that. At the same time, there are some legal considerations. Like you have to be a little bit careful with how you share value to your users without the token becoming a security, right? So you have to kind of like balance this thin line between offering value to the users without necessarily offering like an unlicensed security, right? So it's a little bit tricky. But I think a lot of exchanges have been doing well. But for example, you see Bybit, they don't have a token, right? But they're still doing well as an exchange. So Bybit, they have they have Mantle, but it's not really an exchange token in itself. I think Binance have done that the best. I think BGB has been doing well, but I would say it's a little bit more maybe supply control than BNB. If just looking at the market, like the distribution of the tokens and so on. So yeah, I think like every exchange is finding ways to provide value to their customers. Essentially,
that's right. No, you're right. I recall BGB pumped because they said they're I think merging their DEX and their CX, right?
Yeah.
For OKB, it's because they're limiting to 21 million, etc. So Phemex token or PT is obviously the token of Phemex. So what are you saying? I mean, what you're saying is, if you have Phemex token, you kind of get some rewards. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, we try to provide as much value as possible to our holders, whether it is launch pools, launch pads, staking rewards, and then like reducing the inflation of the token with buybacks and burns. We try to make it kind of as a safe investment as possible, because crypto exchanges are very safe companies to manage. Like they have a very steady revenue. I think compared to most protocols in crypto, they are more successful, like in terms of generating revenue. It's just that people have no way of accessing this revenue, right?
That's right. Understood. Okay. So speaking of exchange, right? So there's a different strategy on listing tokens in each of the exchanges. I'm just curious. You've seen AI as AI and blockchain. The intersection is very, very interesting. And by the way, Camiranda, if you're excited, and I think you also want to join the conversation, I'm giving you the chance to become the second host. Please join me and ask questions in the comment section, so at least we can ask that question to Federico. And as I've said in my post, if I choose the best question, you have something from Coach Miranda. Yay! So please ask the question below. Woo-hoo. All right. So with AI and blockchain increasingly intersecting, is there a way for Phemex to leverage this trend? Are you listing more AI tokens? How are you guys using this trend to leverage in your exchange?
It's a good question. Like, to be honest, like when was this? Last summer, we had all this like trend of AI agents. Like it was like so popular. Like every week, we had a token pumping to 100 million or something, like every day. But I think the products were kind of lackluster. So I think we are still early when it comes to AI and crypto. It's like you combine two sectors which have kind of like a niche success rate, I would say. So the probability of being successful both as a crypto project and as an AI project, I think it's very, very small. So I think people like started kind of like trying to spraying and praying among a lot of different projects, and none of them really delivered. So even the ones that had a little bit more structure, like Tau, for example, I think that the token price has been a little bit underwhelming for most of the holders. So I think, like, for example, if you take Tau, like in fact the token pumped before it was listed on any exchange, right? So that's kind of annoying for retail users, because it's like once it is on the it's like you missed it. Like once it's on the exchanges, it's too late, right? So it's the same kind of happened with a lot of these AI tokens. You had to kind of look for them on chain, and then when they reached centralized exchange, it was like the end for them, right? It's kind of like they were meme tokens. So I think we haven't found a good system of incentive yet for AI tokens to work. And I think obviously the first token that landed is going to be like top 5, top 10 for sure, like in terms of market cap. The problem is that, like, I don't think that blueprint exists yet. Like Ethereum has set a blueprint for a layer 1, so you can follow that.
That's right.
But there is no blueprint for like an AI crypto token right now.
Yeah, you're right. I've seen a couple of tokens who tried to become, sort of the benchmark. Yeah, you're right. Oh, so a couple of articles I've read earlier. Obviously, adoption is there, not just in North America, even in Europe, etc. With a couple of government support we're getting there. Question is, with the global adoption accelerating, what partnerships or collaborations should we expect from you guys in Phemex to strengthen your position, not just this year, but over the next couple of years? I think this cycle will be long. We're entering the bull cycle. And how are you guys seeing yourself from a collaboration standpoint?
Yes. So I think for a centralized exchange, you have the advantage of being able to capture every narrative in the market. So you can, as a centralized exchange, work with projects on Solana, projects on Ton, projects on Ethereum layer 2s or whatever, because you're kind of like an omni-chain like infrastructure, right? But for an exchange, it's important to keep up with all these different things that are happening in the market. That means that you have to collaborate with fiat gateways, you have to collaborate with on-chain providers, you have to collaborate with possibly prediction markets, which are kind of like becoming the new trend. So as an exchange, it's important to find the correct partner, because you will like connect your users to these kind of services. You know what I mean? So if I connect my users to a layer 1, like Solana, Base, or layer 2 in that case, but I that means that I think that there is value in these chains, right? I cannot tell my users to go to layer 1 to trade, and then all of them lose money, right? So that would be like, it's an endorsement from the side of Phemex. So we have to be careful who we work with, and making sure that we like collaborate with the right people that have also like the user's interest in mind as their first priority.
Sure. And Federico, this is not in the list of questions I sent over to you, but I'm just very curious, man. Where did the word Phemex come from? And what's the history about that name of the exchange? Because I mean, it's a question, right?
Yeah, it's a good question. Like it comes up pretty often. Like it's from a Greek goddess called Fama, which is like from good luck and like good news. And of course, so it's so it's a little bit kind of like superstitious.
So did you say Greek goddess?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, for good luck. Okay.
Yeah, and then MEX from like mercantile exchange, like BitMEX. At the time was the most popular exchange for perpetual futures, so we wanted to take something from BitMEX.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a combination of the goddess and the EX.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Because everyone's like kind of doing the same nomenclature or naming convention. Right?
I think the best one is Bybit. I think Bybit is like the most creative one. Binance and Bybit are the best, probably.
Well, I will say that when I interview them on my show. But for me, the best is, All right. So okay, I'm gonna be asking a couple of questions from the community, and I want your answers to be just quick, if you don't mind, Federico. And
sure.
After the list of questions, I want you to choose the best question, at least in your opinion. Okay? If it's okay, just give me the context of that question you've answered. All right? Okay. Let me just read a couple of questions here. From Nick Uy, how do centralized exchanges prepare for black swan events like mass withdrawals or hacks? I think you've answered a little bit about this, but go ahead, please.
Yes. So mass withdrawals is not an issue. Like all the funds are accounted for. If you do proof of reserves, like all the funds are visible there. So I mean, it sucks for the exchange, but like if the exchange is honest, then it's not going to be a problem. Like we had mass withdrawals in 2021 when FTX crashed. Of course, like everyone was like pulling funds from centralized exchanges because no one knew what was going on. So yeah, you just handle it. Like it takes a little bit longer maybe to like move all the funds from cold wallet and so on. And in terms of coordinated hacks, it's a little bit more complicated. Like you need like good standard operating procedures in place. Nevertheless, the sophistication of attacks have gotten much higher. Like we have seen significant hacks in the past year, like hitting exchanges and on-chain providers as well. So I think our industry would need to coordinate internally a little bit better to face coordinated hacks. Unfortunately, like we don't have like a centralized system such as like a banking system or whatever. So since part of our system is decentralized and permissionless, that means that sometimes hacks will be successful. So you try to prepare as much as you can, always protect the user's funds, always cover every loss. But because of the nature of the industry we are in, that can happen. Yeah.
It's a very good point and very honest answer. Thanks for that. I like this question, but I'll try to rephrase the question from Jack Tower. What is the biggest lesson you would like to? I mean, what's the biggest lesson and what's the tip you can give to any trader from your experience for the many years, right? As a CEO, go ahead.
Yes, I would say try to make sure that you don't like that the content that you see doesn't come from a very specific niche. For example, when Solana collapsed after the FTX things, I didn't pay much attention to the Solana community for a long time. But in fact, the resilience of that community and all the activity in that community in the months after what happened to FTX would have been a good sign that that ecosystem was going to succeed. So I would say try to diversify where you get your information from, not only from maybe one ecosystem or whatever. Try to diversify where you get information and try to like check different ecosystems.
That's a very good point. You're right, because Solana went all the way down to almost $7 coming from, and now it's like 250 plus again. So really good point. Really good point. Yeah, that's a good point. Let me just check another question. Okay, some of them are very, very educational question. I like this. It's like a beauty pageant question. In 5 years, what will make Phemex stand out as the most unique home for traders? Wow.
Yes, I think in 5 years, Phemex will be kind of an everything app. So you will be able to like trade crypto, trade stocks, prediction markets, earn programs, savings, credit card, all these kind of things. You will just need one app and you will do everything. And I don't think Phemex will be the only one. I think every app will be able to do all these things together.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. So yeah, you're right. Because again, as a trader, you want everything all in your application, right? You want the on-ramp, off-ramp, the multiple, we need to less customer effort, or we need to lessen traders' effort.
Right? Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
I want to ask this question to you. So you look, I would say, relatively younger than me, because I'm like mid-40s already. In your experience, just maybe give a lot of young men and women are listening with us right now, and you are in one of the most successful positions in crypto today. Give us a little bit of personal tip to be successful in crypto from a career perspective. And it's a hobby for you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I think
it's a good question. Like I think
in your role right now. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think the best way to succeed in crypto is combining a mix of working in crypto and investing in crypto. For example, for a long time, I didn't myself invest much because I was working in crypto. But I think the best way to connect with people is when you either work with them on a project or you both invested in the same project or you are collaborating on it. So I think the best kind of connections you can build in this industry is by being active in a specific community, whether it is Hyperliquid or Solana or like Ton, Sui. Just try to go out there, maybe do some things for free at the beginning, but just show you want to be part of the community, and you will meet like-minded people, and some of these people will be successful, or you will be successful, and you can help each other like be successful in this industry. So I would say combination of like doing some work, doing some investing, and joining a community and meeting people.
100%. The mind shares is crazy when you're inside. It will really enrich your knowledge, not just on trading, but in all other aspects of community building. Let me just try to greet a couple of people from Middle East. Hello, Kuya Ryan. Good evening, Camerano. Shout out to all Cameranos in the Middle East. All right. Give me a second. Okay, I think just one more question. Some are very, very okay. How does Phemex give me a second plan for decentralized perpetual? I like this one.
Yeah, it's a good question. So until a couple of years ago, like it felt like the technology was not there yet. But now we are seeing like more kind of experiment being successful in that direction, Hyperliquid being the best. I still think there are some questions to be answered about real decentralization. Like if you look at all the decentralized protocols such as Hyperliquid or DYDX or GMX or Aster, like the Binance one now, I think all of them have a degree of centralization, whether it is on the order book or like the validators and so on. So I think the tools are almost there. When they will be, we probably just move to fully decentralized exchange. Like there will be no point in being a centralized exchange. But for now, some users still prefer to have like centralized structure. You sign up with the email. You don't have to worry about custody, this kind of thing. So I think people still want kind of a little bit more security than just having to deal with the DEX.
All right. Wow. Really good. Really educational. I would like to ask you a couple of very fast questions. Federico, question. Just give me a second. I'll just go on a quick stinger break, and when I come back, I'm going to be asking you some very quick questions from my end, if it's okay. All right, let's go. Quick commercial. Miranda.
Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Kamiranda.
Let's all discuss all of the worthy issues ngayon sa ating market. This is Coach Miranda Minor Reacts. Tutok na! All right, you're still listening to Coach Miranda Minor. We have in our show the Chief Executive Officer of Phemex, based in Italy. His name is Federico, and we've been learning a lot from him as regards to his expert opinion on institutional adoption. And if you are new to our channel, don't forget to click on like, subscribe, and of course, follow Coach Miranda. Smash the like button. Kamiranda, type number 1 to our global Kamiranda viewers. Type number 1 in the comment section.
You are listening to Coach Miranda Minor in his daily crypto live.
All right, I'm gonna be bringing up back a good friend of mine, Federico in Italia. Buongiorno.
Kamusta?
Kamusta? See? Hello? I always hear the word ciao ciao there, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Or Sevos sometimes.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah, a couple of questions. Number 1, do you have Bitcoin?
Yes, it's my largest holding. So, yeah.
Yes, of course. Number 2, if I'm going to be asking you, what is your largest holding on altcoins?
On altcoins, so it's either
not a financial advice, Kamiranda.
Yeah, okay? It's either Ethereum or Hyperliquid, but it's close.
Okay, if I may ask, can I ask you why Hyperliquid?
So when I see a successful competitor, I try to invest in them in one way. You know what I mean? Because it's like a hedge on my own job. So it's like if they do well, I'm less sad because I invested. So it's fine. Yeah.
Sorry, so that's a very wise advice. Yeah. Seriously, it's an aha moment, right? If someone's a very good competitor, you invest on them so they become a hedge.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one. That's a good one, right? Well, I also have hype because obviously the fees in their exchange, obviously it's competitive, right? Yeah. Okay. So how about so those are really good ones, right? If you're gonna be going back 15 years ago, would you buy pizza and become
No, yeah, I'd scream at my parents to put everything in Bitcoin. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah.
No, it's interesting. In 2016, I saw the news. Like a Dutch family sold their entire house to buy a Bitcoin.
Oh, in 2016.
2017, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Okay.
Like an entire family from a Dutch family who sold their entire house.
Oh, yes. I think I
remember, right?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I think the guy's a YouTuber or something. Yeah.
Everyone was saying they're crazy. and sometimes being crazy is not bad. You know what I mean? Kind of not going out with the flow, right? All right. If you're gonna be going, so 15 years ago, what you're saying is you'll scream to your parents and buy Bitcoin.
Yes.
If you are not a CEO of Phemex, what would you be today, bro?
Today,
Yeah,
it's a good question. Like, it's the only job I ever had, so it's hard to, to imagine something else. Like,
because people ask you. Yeah, go ahead.
I enjoyed academic research a lot. Like, I found it very interesting, but at the same time, like, it's so much more fun to be in an industry, like to really work like in business. So I think I would be still in business in some way. Yeah.
Interesting. Hey, before I let you go, I want you to remember what's the one of the best questions you've answered earlier today. So we
Yes, I
can
like
fix.
Marjorie's question, the last one about the 5 years plan. Made me think about what to do in the next 5 years. So it's been useful.
Hey, Marjorie, because you are a YouTube member, I know your YouTube handle. So please, can you get a screenshot of your YouTube handle and then email it to me, Coach at Global Miranda. Then get ready for your reward. Congratulations for that awesome question. I mean, just kind of on a hindsight, right? So I really like, and I resonated to your comment earlier about it's really a good aha moment. I have not gotten over of it yet. You said if you have a competitor, you invest on them, so it's a hedge against it's a hedge on you.
Yeah,
Really awesome. You know,
I did
all
it
right.
with BNB with Hyperliquid. Yeah, sometimes it really pays off. Yeah.
You know, you're right. You know, I gotta invite the leaders in Hyperliquid on my show today. And I'm gonna be
Tell them,
asking.
yeah, tell them to buy a my token then. So,
All right. Hey, I really enjoyed the show, man. I appreciate it. You know, I would like you to take this chance to have our Camiranda community follow you guys in your social media channel and get to know more about Phemex. Please go ahead. The floor is yours.
yeah, if you guys want to keep in touch on X, my handle is Federico0x. Still old school Ethereum name, kind of. But yeah, that's where I'm most active. So if you shoot a message, I'll always take a look. So if you want to follow me there, I'll be happy to answer any questions or like suggestions. I like very much being in touch with traders and the users of the exchange.
Absolutely. So I would like to highlight the profile. There you go. Follow Federico Zero
Thank you,
X
guys.
Effects. Follow him and get to understand the things that he is posting and learn. And obviously, I really like Twitter. This is well
Yeah,
X. This is where
yeah,
you can get to learn even the rumors. You know what I mean?
yeah. I think
So
it's the best socials for crypto. Yeah.
it is. It is absolutely not LinkedIn.
No, for sure. No, I never check LinkedIn.
Yeah, who uses LinkedIn? I remember like I saw a post from what's this? Was it Elon Musk who said like who uses LinkedIn? Anyways,
Yeah.
hey, I appreciate the time, bro. Have a very good, pleasant afternoon there. I wish you all the best in Phemex and Camiranda. Marjorie, please email me of your handle so I can get to see it was really you, and then we'll have you your 1,000 peso award. Yay! All right. Ciao, Federico. Have a good one. Thank you.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
That's it, Camiranda, an awesome guest for today. I really learned a lot from the man. I mean, it's rare that you kind of get to hear awesome words from the CEO of a of one of the international exchanges today. What I really like about and let's kind of reflect on this. Is I like what he said about if you have a competition, invest on them so it's a hedge against, especially if they're really doing well. Because like sometimes, Camiranda, when we are very successful, we're always like focused on like this direction, right? And if someone is doing really well, it's an awesome investment diversification advice, And what also resonated with me is obviously being a CEO, right? The advice that he had, obviously, um, validate your sources, of information, right? Like he mentioned something about the Solana infrastructure. Obviously, it failed, and then FTX was the problem, and eventually they came from zero to hero, right? I mean, yeah, people were fearful on the drop of Solana, and eventually people who trusted and bought at the bottom are like millionaires right now. No, so I think it's a really good insight. And this show is not to promote nor ask you guys to create an account. And Phemex is really to understand, the lens of an expert, subject matter expert in the industry. And if you would like to learn more about them, please visit their socials and follow Federico in his social media channel, in Twitter. It has been awesome night, Camiranda, and I appreciate all of you watching our interview. Watch out for more massive interviews to come in our show. We have a lot of more guests who are also chief executive officers in our show. I'm not sure if I can claim the fame. Tell me if I'm saying it correctly. I think I'm the only show in the Philippines, or not but a Filipino rather, that was able to interview big personalities already. Or, well, maybe I'm just one of the many, right? I'm not claiming the only one, but one of the few channels that can interview big personalities. And we really curate. No, we are very careful on curating our guests because I don't want to FOMO you guys. Because it's not how our show is going to be run. No, marami pa po. There's a lot more that we're gonna be inviting in our show. So please make it a point to watch Coach Miranda interviews. We're gonna be learning from the best people in crypto, and I think it's important we learn from them so we don't commit their mistakes. Sabi nga nila, there's this famous Filipino saying, "Learn from your own mistakes." And I said that's cliche. I mean, it's already old school, man. I mean, gone are the days that you learn from your own mistakes. That's why there's AI. You learn from the mistake of others and don't commit it, right? Because those mistakes can be very expensive, Camiranda, right? So I think we need to learn from their mistakes and then improve ourselves, right? And as I always say as well, success is a lousy teacher, so we learn from the mistakes. And if you are a young man today in your mid-20s or late 20s, this is a perfect show for you because I want to grow. And even if you're a young woman, right, I want to grow your mindset, your lens, to become even prepared when you hit my age, 40s. The next 20 years of your life will be very crucial, and I want you to invest those times on learning. Mabilis lang, 1 hour a day. Invest that to Coach Miranda Minor.
Ang galing mo talaga, Coach.
All right, you are still listening to...
You are listening to Coach Miranda Minor in his daily crypto live.
Maraming salamat po, Miranda, for... give me a second. Maraming salamat po, Miranda, for listening to our show. And again, congratulations to all the Miranda who has learned another lesson or something new today, Miranda. At maraming salamat po. Please don't forget to click on like, smash the like button. At maraming salamat again. Shukran.
Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Camiranda. Subscribe, like, follow, and share. Sige na please, Camiranda.